30 minutes in, it looks like a pasting. Could have been anything. We were slow off our game. And Norwich were their usual, what they have been this season, very fluent self. The goal, fortunately, changed our urgency levels, and from then on we were right in the game. Now, whether we deserved to win the game, absolutely on play. I'm sure Norwich might contest. It was a very even game with chances at both ends. But in terms of what we put into it and desire and effort from the players to go off the pitch and come back on with 9 minutes to try and turn the game around, we deserved it on that alone from our point of view.
Right, what did you say to them in that interim period when they've come off? What have you done?
Well, it was a group thing. It's not just me; it's staff and the players themselves. But it fell in our favour for sure, because at that point, you know, we had a chance to reorganise. Andre Wisdom was struggling with an injury, which sort of made the change more obvious. But to get David Nugent on the pitch, who was pivotal in both goals, was something for us to change, to throw it at the back and change the system. And then the rest was about belief, because I told them they deserved a result. They deserved some form of result, whether it had been a draw or a win, for the effort they put in. Having come from a difficult game a few days ago and gone 2-0 down, that's character. And I just told them that, and the rest is theirs.
Can you just outline, you've had a long career in football, you probably thought you've seen it all. We all think we've written it all after the years, but that was something else.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it had absolutely everything, and it was something else. I've not been off the pitch and back on the pitch like that before. I've not seen, well, we have seen turnarounds and goals change games, of course, but from a managerial point of view, I've not been involved in anything like that as a player, maybe occasionally, but not with every facet they had today in one go. And yeah, and then, you know, 9 minutes goes, and then we had 5 minutes of injury time on top of the 9 minutes, which was amazing, and obviously we're hanging on. But Norwich have had a few late goals lately, and I'm not saying they're lucky, because they're not. They're a fantastic side with top players. But sometimes the fates are on your side, you know, and these things happen, and they were for us in those dying seconds.
And what can that turnaround, if you like, and result do moving forward?
Well, I don't think it's a turnaround, because we're in a good spot, but I think it's a real pointer to us of what effort and energy and passion, all these things do. They're bigger than tactics. They're bigger than technical qualities. They can make or break you, and for the players, it has to be a sign of that. You know, we won't always be at our best. We'll be trying things. We're a new team. We're trying a new style. We're doing all these things. They can be excuses, but there is no excuse for lacking the desire that we showed from 30 minutes onwards today. So that's the big lesson for all of us.
George Evans started a red start for him because of injuries, first one since August. Your thoughts on it?
I was delighted with George. It was a tough first 30 minutes, because when you're out, not played, and you've been injured, and he's played, you know, a couple of 23 games, it doesn't compare to playing one of the top teams in the league. So once he got his foot in and played, I thought his passing was good. I thought his defensive play was good. And it was a great sign for George. I'm delighted for him as a lad. He's so desperate to do well. He's got the talent to do well, and it's only injuries that have scuppered him at the minute, but he showed a big personality in his game today.
And the fans? I mean,
Well,
behind you,
the fans are incredible. The fans deserve the credit as much as, you know, Jack Marriott or Tamori or Joseph Soon, because they drag you through those games, and we have to understand that they travel around Christmas 3 to 4 hours to support the team they love. And they're amazing every week, the away fans. I was disappointed for them at Sheffield United, but they don't stop. They still bounce, they still sing, they still pull you through, and the players feel it. And the lesson is for us as a club that we need to generate that at home. You know, we generate it away on a weekly basis. Our home fans adore the club. The passion in the city is incredible. What we need to try and do is just up it for the players in good and bad times at home, because we saw the difference today, what it makes.
we all feel like a bit of a lie down after that, but we've
Yeah.
not much time for that. There's
No.
Middlesbrough coming up next.
That is not. So, you know, I might have a glass of wine on the way home, but the players won't. So no, they need to lay down. It was an energy and mental sapping game for sure. But we're all having them at this period of the year. Middlesbrough are also playing games, so recovery is key. We'll see what we do with the side, if there are any changes or not. But off the top of my head now, they all deserve so much for the ones that played out there today. But we'll see, because we need to analyse and assess people and see how they are.
Can you just explain what the referee or the official said to you as everyone's come off, just so we know what was told to you?
They said that there was one floodlight down. Obviously, they wanted to reboot it. It takes 15 minutes, and at that point we'll reassess again. So it was quite simple. In fact, I was just trying to see if there were any way the game could be replayed as a whole, and they could call it off. Thank goodness I didn't. It didn't need to be.
So you were thinking
No,
about
listen.
asking the question.
I want to win the game of football, don't I? So no, it didn't need to be. But you have to be clear. You know, if my question was, are we allowed to play with 3 floodlights? If that's the case, and it didn't get beyond that.
Is it a problem for footballers when they come off and they have to start again with full muscles and things like that?
Yeah, that would have been my issue. For if it was a long break, I think anything more than the 15, which thankfully it was, I think that would have been an issue for the players for sure, especially when they've had such a tiring game. Not just my players, but the same for Norwich.
But it definitely worked in your favour.
Yeah, mentally, yes. I'm sure Daniel will say the same. It's they were probably feeling comfortable. They get their goal, and if I wanted to make a change in terms of David Nugent, the message is difficult to get on in an emotional game like that. But we had time to actually get some freshness in the legs, get the team right, and as I say, the rest was there. And a special mention for David Nugent because he was pivotal in terms of his the way he held himself and his desire to cross the ball for the goal and to win the ball back for us a couple of times. That's what the players need to go off his lead.
Frank, were you expecting a kind of late show from Norwich? They've been doing it
Yeah.
all season.
Yeah.
Did
Yeah.
you prepare for that in any way?
I didn't prepare. I just expected, and on the pitch for the lads, there's not much you can do. They've got big players. If they stick it in the box, it's probably going to stay around your box for a while. And they had 5 minutes overtime to keep lumping it in there, and it's difficult. My lads were tired. You know, you end up seeping backwards. It's very evident why they're scoring late goals. They're a very good team who push to the end, and that's credit to them. I'm absolutely so impressed with the job that Daniel's done and the way their team play. They're certainly going to be up there in the running. They're not going to be going anywhere in this championship race.
Do you think it's difficult to learn from games like this when you've won? Because you walk away and you're thinking this is amazing.
We must do. I understand what you're saying. You get caught up in a moment, and it just feels great. We must learn. We must learn, as I said before, that to start a game with a lack of urgency against anyone in this league actually can put you out of the game. Fortunately, we got back in it today, but we must learn and take the lessons from it. The players will. They're not silly, but we need to. That needs to be a reminder through the year. Good. Thank you very much.